Hello and good afternoon, guys. Welcome to MK Convenience Brokerage. My name is Mohammed. In this video, I'm going to go over another checklist. This checklist will be for the garage and parking lots. If you operate a business that parking garage or lot that is open to the public and charges for parking, well, you better be following this checklist, because if inspectors come into your place of business, there's a chance you might get a summons if you don't follow the rules correctly. So let's get started. So first, number one, you must have a valid Department of Consumer Affairs garage or parking lot license. The following business, you don't need a license if you have a garage or parking lot operated by the city or any city agencies. Obviously, common sense. If you're operated by the city, why do you need a DCA license then? A garage operated by a business that is solely used by its customer or employees, then it makes sense. If you have a garage that's only for its customers or for its employees and no one else, then obviously you're exempt from it. A garage operated by the owner of a multiple dwelling exclusively for his residents, like you see some buildings that obviously has this for a garage for the residents. Well, guess what? DCA doesn't really go through that part as well. Number two, DCA combines license and complaint sign must be posted where all customers can see it. So basically what that is if you need to make a complaint against, not counting these three exceptions, but if you see a parking lot that obviously charges customers for parking their cars, there should be a complaint sign that somebody needs to make a complaint about this business, maybe for unfair business practices, or maybe if it's for whatever reason. I mean, that's what this is for. Number two, a sign must be posted about that business name, the address, and everything else. Number three, all printed matter that is given to customers, business cards, flyers, receipt, etc., must have the license number, and the license number must be identified as a DCA license number. For example, Department of Consumer Affairs license number such and such, such and such. So if you're giving flyers or anything like that, a card or whatever, it's supposed to have a DCA license number on it for that part. If you don't have it, I mean, if a inspector sees it, you could get a summons for that. Keep that in mind. Number four, if the entrance and exits are separate, a clearly lit sign must mark which one is the entrance and which one is the exit. Tip, if there is one driveway, then you don't need to have a separate signs. But if not, then you need to have a separate sign for the entry and the exit. Again, more inspection checklist. Number five, sign must be posted at each public entrance and include each of the following: the business name, the business address, the license number, the vehicle capacity, bicycle capacity, if vehicle capacity is more than 50 cars, business hours. Now there's two tips. This sign must be separate from the rate sign, and all drivers pulling into a facility must be able to see this sign. Keep this in mind. Number six, there must be a rate sign posted at each public entrance. The rate sign is basically showing you what you're going to be charging for the customers that come in. Number seven, the rate sign must have all the following. It must be black letters on a white background, capital letters that are 3 inches high, lowercase letters that are 2 inches high. All letters must be the same front. All letters and numbers must be evenly spaced. Each type of rate must be listed on a separate line. Long lines can exceed 40 inches in width, and lines must be spaced 1 and 1/2 inches apart as measured between capital letters. If you charge a fraction of hourly period, your rate must be listed in the total and maximum charge for the period. For example, up to half hour, up to 2 hours. This is a sample that should be posted as there. If not, then keep this in mind. It is going to be a summons when the DC inspector comes in. Number nine, if you charge different rates for day and night parking, you must post a separate sign with the night rates next to the sign with the day rates at each public entrance. People should be able to see that. Number 10, the day rate sign must have black letters on a white background. The night rate sign must have white letters on a black background. They're both different. Number 11, if you charge different rates for certain days of the week or for a special occasion, you must post those rates directly under the regular rate sign or on a separate sign next to the regular rate sign, whichever one is comfortable with you. Number 12, a copy of the rate signs must be posted in the pavement area of the garage. Now there's a tip. The copy must be at least 8 by 10 inches and must contain the exact information as the posted signage. Number 13, you may post additional sign as long as the letters and numbers in the sign are the same size and are in the same style in the required signs. Number 14, if your garage is located in Manhattan, you must post a sign telling customers that monthly parkers may be eligible for a tax exemption and provide contact information for the New York City Department of Finance so that they can find out more information about this program. The sign must read exactly as follows: Attention Manhattan residents, if you garage your car on a monthly basis or longer, you may be eligible for an exemption from the 8% parking tax surcharge. To apply for a certificate of exemption, contact New York City Department of Finance, Parking Tax Exemption Section, 25 Elm Place, Brooklyn, New York. This is the number right there. And the sign must be at least 12 by 18 inches with black letter that are at least 1 inch high on a white background. Eligible receipt must be offered for payments of $5 or more. Keep that in mind. A receipt must be in portion of claim check, torn off and given to the customer. Receipt must include each of the following: date of purchase, amount of money paid, separate statement of tax, the garage's name and address, and the garage DCA license number. Number 17. All cars must be parked in the garage and not on the sidewalk, street, or other public spaces. Number 18. The number of parked vehicles cannot be over legal capacity, as shown on the DCA license and certificate of occupancy. Be careful. So if they see 500 cars, don't put 600, 700, 700 cars in one place. That's the limit. Number 19. If the garage is full, a sign stating capacity full in 6 inches letter must be posted at each public entrance to let customers know. Obviously, it's not really comfortable for a customer to come in and they're actually telling you, listen, the garage is full, you gotta go back. It can't happen like that. Garages that hold 51 or more cars must be able to park and secure bicycles. Use the chart below to determine the minimum number of bicycles that you must be able to park and secure. So this is the capacity of DCA license. Minimum number of bicycles is 51 to 54 cars. That's at least 5 bicycles. I mean, you could see whichever works with you, and obviously you should know how many bicycles you're able to store. Each bicycle must be parked at least 2 feet away from a car. And all bikes must be parked in the garage and not on the sidewalk, street, or public places. Again, you're not supposed to do that. Number 23. If the bike parking is at capacity, there must be a sign posted at each entrance stating bike capacity filled. And letters on the sign must be at least 6 inches tall. Just like the car, if the cars are full, could happen with the bikes as well. If the bikes are full, then you obviously you have to show the customer that it's full. There's no way you can ever put an extra bike inside the facility. Number 24. There must be a rate sign for bicycle parking posted at each public entrance, and the sign must have all the following. All the following should be able to have it. Number 25. If the areas where bikes are parked are off limits to anyone other than employees, then the garage or lot is not required to have racks, hooks, poles, and other devices to which bicycles can be secured. And if the area where bikes are parked can be accessed by non-employees, the garage or lot must have racks, hooks, poles, or other devices to secure the bikes. Now there's 2 tips. Tip number 1. The garage must provide locks, chains, or other devices to customers to secure their bicycle. And tip number 2. Each bicycle must be either locked or rack, pole, or other devices, or hung on a wall from a securely anchored hook or rack to which the bicycle frame at least one wheel are locked. Number 27. You must take responsible care to prevent damage or loss to a consumer's bike, bicycle, or personal property. And you cannot disclaim liability for injury or damage to a customer property due to your negligence or the negligence of your employees. A garage must provide claim checks to all customers that includes the date of the vehicle was accepted for parking, the garage's name, and the garage's DCA license number. These are the general checklist. Well, I will not go over this because I do have a video on this general checklist. You can check out my channel. Obviously, you'll see the general checklist over there. Well, with that said, that's with the garage parking lot checklist. So this checklist is basically used when an inspector comes into your place of business, and they will be using this checklist, what I just read so far to you. So keep that in mind. I mean, if you've seen this checklist, then obviously you should be following every single rule, because if an inspector comes in, they will be using the same checklist to come into your place of business and finding violation. And whichever you don't, they're going to hit you with a violation. So keep that in mind. You don't want to do that part. Just make sure you're following all the rules, following all the checklists, and you should be fine. With that said, thank you guys for listening to this video, watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any other questions, comment, concern, please comment, like, subscribe. I'll try my best to help you guys out as much as possible. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to comment in the YouTube video or other videos. I will try my best to help you guys out as much as possible. Thank you again, guys, for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.